Thanks very much, Michael and the Fleet leadership team. It's just tremendous to see the impact that you've had over the last 7 years. So thank you for sharing that journey with all of us. I'd like to introduce our next speaker now, Professor Mike Ryan. Mike is the Interim Deputy Vice-Chancellor Research and Senior Vice President at Monash University. And Mike leads the overall university research agenda. He's responsible for Monash's research capacity, performance, and impact, and a variety of other research services at Monash. So Mike, it's great to have you with us today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Joanna. I'd also like to acknowledge the people of the Kulin Nations on whose land we're gathered here today, and pay my respects to elders past and present. And also note that this week is National Reconciliation Week. It's an opportunity for us to learn more about the rich cultures of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders, and also to acknowledge the true histories of Australia. So I encourage any of you who can go to any of the events that are currently being undertaken this week. It will be really valuable. I'm also delighted to be here with a special guest, Professor Alison Ross, ARC Executive Director of Humanities and Creative Arts. So this really was a fabulous introduction to what Fleet has done, what it represents, and really was inspiring. So really fantastic to be here at this very special day, celebrating this incredible impact. Now, we know that the ARC Centres of Excellence are really exceptional. They take the most outstanding scientists to come together, fantastic leadership, really wonderful ideas, and brilliant partners and supporters around to really bring something and create a great nexus and a group together to really tackle some of these big challenges that we have in Australia and beyond. And this is one of them, and it's really great to have heard some of the fantastic science and technologies that is around Fleet, where it started and what it's achieved. Obviously, having a lot of money at the beginning is a great start from the ARC, 35 million, but $65 million in total funding to support the Fleet going forward. Launched 2018, really wonderful promise going forward. A little hiccup in the way around 2020, which we don't really like to talk about too much, but really phenomenal what's been achieved during that time, and with that particular big hiccup that's been there. So Fleet researchers have generated these new concepts for electronics, consuming obviously most of will consume less energy than the silicon counterparts, as Michael really worked through. And I got to hear new terms: topological transistors, exciton, polariton, and the fact that obviously dealing with light and matter. And I think that's really fantastic as well. The fact that the centre has produced 10 patents and 3 spin-off companies, that's really remarkable. And, we heard something around that liquid metal technology, really, really fascinating as well going forward. And then the metrics are really beautiful, this display about what's happening and what's happened from Fleet. Obviously, over 650 publications over that time, over 18,500 citations, more than 50% have that really large impact factor as well, which is really fantastic. But it's really around that technology, that really fascinating technology that hopefully will bring more sustainable ways of electronics, and importantly, that training and communication that's come through from the centre as well. So we've heard that the work will help with continued growth of computing, including new advances like we're seeing with AI, and that's going to be in a sustainable way. And that's really going to be fabulous. But I've been part of Fleet as part of the advisory committee and seeing this, but what you can see much more strongly about, rather than just the technology, but it's the excellent collaboration and mentorship and training that's come through this particular centre. And Jeff, I was on a Centre of Excellence back in the 2000s with Jeff early on, and that centre looks very different from this particular centre and the achievements that come through there. So it's really fantastic just to see what's happened there. So we've known, obviously, that Fleet is dealing with lots of people, 20 chief investigators, 7 participating organisations around Australia, 25 partner investigators from 18 organisations also internationally. And that's really a wonderful interdisciplinary group of people coming together to tackle this. But I think what we also heard is how Fleet's nurtured the future STEM leaders through mentoring, expanding research capabilities, expertise, and networks. And Kirali really nicely showed this. And Julie also really emphasised the importance of what Fleet's done with working with the early development and support of the careers of women and leadership, and also working on further around diversity as well, which is really fabulous. And we also heard from Mitko around the STEM education and the community outreach that's been undertaken there as well. And I remember Mitko from 3-Minute Thesis last year did a fabulous job there at the last minute. So having people like Mitko talking to the students, the future students and future STEM leaders potentially, it's just fabulous to have within the centre. So congratulations with Fleet for doing that as well. So at Monash, really, it's our partnerships that are really special to us. It's not just with our university partners that we're really important. It's with our industry, with business, it's NGOs, it's international governments. It's those that really come together with really great ideas and approaches that produce exceptional, responsible research with real-world impact. And that's clearly evident with what's been done with Fleet. So again, congratulations again to Fleet. Congratulations to ARC for funding this and really seeing the value in Fleet as a centre of excellence. It's obviously helped place Australia at the forefront of technology, but I consider there's more that rather than just technological transformation that's being undertaken, there's new transformational ways of working with the community, working with people. It's really not just a centre of excellence, but it seems to be a culture and a community of excellence. And I think this is really going to be a long-lasting legacy of Fleet. So with that, I'd like to thank you all there, and thanks for having me.
I'd like to invite our next speaker, the guest from the ARC, to join us, Professor Alison Ross. Alison joined the ARC as the Executive Director of Humanities and Creative Arts in February 2023. And prior to that appointment, Alison held leadership roles here at Monash as the Academic Director of Research in the Office of the Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Research, and also as the Deputy Dean of Research in the Faculty of Arts at Monash. And Alison is a Professor of Philosophy. So Alison, please join us. Thank you for joining us today.
It's a real pleasure to be here this morning to recognise and celebrate the achievements of the ARC Centre of Excellence in Future Low Energy Electronics Technologies, herein known as Fleet, which is the collective noun for extraordinary researchers working in low energy transformations. Before I commence, I just wanted to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation as the traditional custodians of the land we're meeting on, and recognise any other people or families with connections to the region. I wish to acknowledge and respect their continuing culture and the contribution they make to the life of this city and this region. I would also like to acknowledge and welcome Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who may be attending today's event. I would like to acknowledge too the distinguished speakers and guests here, including Professor Batstone, Professor Mike Ryan, Professor Michael Fura, Associate Professor Kirali Rule, Mike Oldfield, Dr. Julie Carell, and Professor Jeff Davies. I'm very pleased to be back here at Monash among friends and colleagues and to be representing the Australian Research Council today. The ARC has a proud history in supporting world-class research and innovation in Australia by our outstanding researchers. The recent passage of the Australian Research Council Amendment Bill 2024 highlights the government's commitment to and acknowledgement of the ARC's critical role in actively shaping and impacting Australia's research landscape. This legislation positions the ARC as a leader in administering funding for excellent, pure basic, strategic basic and applied research in all disciplines. The ARC supports world-class research and research-led innovation for the advancement of Australian society remains at the forefront of our strategic thinking and actions. As one of Australia's leading universities, Monash University has been awarded more than $509 million in ARC funding between 2018 and 2023. And already in 2024, more than $46 million in ARC funding has been awarded to Monash University. And as you'll know, if you ever have the privilege of working for the ARC, everybody's very focused on data points. And so there's a few of those in my remarks today. Monash University's contribution to research continues to increase both nationally and internationally as it delivers research that translates new discoveries into social, economic, and environmental outcomes. The ARC funds research of the highest standard that benefits the Australian community, identified through a highly competitive research grants process. This includes the ARC's Centres of Excellence scheme, which is a flagship part of our ARC linkage program. ARC Centres of Excellence increase collaboration between our most innovative researchers and industries that are vital to Australia, as you have demonstrated here through the extraordinary work of Fleet. And the government, through the ARC, awarded Fleet $33.4 million over 7 years under the 2017 ARC Centres of Excellence scheme. Through a highly collaborative process, your centre has produced research outcomes that address the government's National Reconstruction Fund priority areas, including value add in resources and renewables and low emissions technologies. By working towards a sustainable future for computing through energy efficient technologies, you have shaped the scientific community and industry through groundbreaking innovations, technologies, and discoveries. In just one example demonstrating your impact, you have addressed the challenge of reducing the energy used in information technology, which, according to my colleagues in the ARC who've been looking through the RMS records, accounts for about 5% of electricity used on Earth. And I'm sure that number is increasing as I'm speaking. By generating new concepts for electronic devices that operate at ultra-low energy, Fleet has contributed to the continued growth of IT and advances in artificial intelligence in a sustainable way. Fleet has placed Australia at the forefront of international electronic technology and has developed the scientific foundation and intellectual property for future low-energy electronic systems. Indeed, Fleet's research successes have been recognised by the semiconductor industry in their industry roadmap as promising, and with 10 patents lodged and 3 spin-off companies formed to further develop these technologies, it's clear that these are more than promising developments. Fleet has also fostered a nurturing and encouraging research training environment, as we've heard, with 123 higher degree by research students, 90 chief partner and associate investigators, 115 postdoctoral researchers, 96 research assistants and undergraduate students, and 19 staff across the 7 years. What an amazing achievement. So I would like to finish by commending the team at Fleet for your dedication to advancing the electronics industry and the enduring impact your research will have on Australia. Thank you very much.
We've had a tremendous morning hearing from the Fleet team. We've heard from some fantastic speakers. We've heard from our Monash senior leadership team, and we've heard from the ARC leadership team. We're also very pleased today to be able to hear from Victoria's chief scientist, who's literally just walked in the door. And so no pressure, Amanda, I'm going to put you right on the stage here. Dr. Amanda Caples is Victoria's lead scientist. And this is a role that connects Victoria's science, technology, and innovation capability with business needs and with government's economic development activities. Amanda's a regular visitor here at Monash. She has many different roles that she plays within Victorian government. She's the chair of mRNA, Victoria's Scientific Advisory Group. She's the chair of the Victorian Quantum Technology Network and a non-executive director of Agriculture Victoria Services. And Amanda overall leads the development of industry and science and innovation policy in Victoria.
Thank you very much, Joanna, and good morning, everyone. And first of all, just to thank Michael and the team for the invitation to speak today, and apologies for being so late, but perfectly on time. So yeah, I was in the city this morning at a Bio-Melbourne Network breakfast to celebrate a piece of work which I think is kind of emblematic to the spirit of the ARC centres, and particularly this ARC centre, which I think of all the ARC centres that I've had the good fortune to be involved with, Fleet is perhaps the one that has really excelled, both in terms of the communication of science to the community as well as doing excellent science. So congratulations, Michael. You have led a wonderful team, and Monash is very proud, no doubt, as is Victorian Government, of the work that you have done. So in these times, with the advance of technology, I think we're really living in a very exciting technological time where we are seeing the impact of the development of, amongst other things, AI, which is just accelerating what was envisaged very early on in the establishment of this centre, that we need to find better ways of producing energy, but of utilisation of energy. And so the core focus of this centre for low energy electronics, the need has not been greater than it is today. So I think that, and I know that, the legacy of these sorts of ventures, because that's actually what these ARC centres are, a collaboration between academia, industry, will generate a cohort of PhD students and a cohort of researchers that have worked together around a mission that will really outlive the duration of the centre, because what you're doing is creating a future for us all through the people, the talent, the skills, the networks, the collaboration that has occurred as a consequence of this centre. So I really just wanted to leave that message. We really appreciate it. The impact that investment in these sorts of initiatives have. We have the data. So ARC would have the data. Victorian Government has the data, which shows that the long-term impact of collaborative initiatives, exceeds well beyond the term of the individual initiative. And can I just wish all the primary investigators and also the students who have come forward and been trained through this centre, and to the industry players, and I understand in every member, 145 members of this ARC centre are represented here today. That in of itself speaks volumes and is testament to the good work and the relationships that have been established through the centre. So I'm really delighted to be here, and I'll just leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amanda, for joining us, and we appreciate the feedback to all of us and the extensive set of collaborators through the centre. So we are close to closing our celebrations here this morning, but before we do, I'd like to invite the audience here to visit the new Fleet website, legacy.fleet.org.au. Today is the launch of this new website, and it's fantastic. It contains a number of different case studies on the centre's impact areas and the history, the 7-year timeline of the journey of the centre with key milestones. And more content will be published onto this website over the next few months. But this is the beginning of the continuation of the journey for Fleet as we look ahead to what comes next as we wrap up the Centre of Excellence. And so although the centre will soon cease the formal operations, as I think was pretty clear with today's conversations, Fleet's legacy is in the expertise and culture of the researchers that have been involved. And so the wide fleet network will continue to collaborate and continue to develop the research through other collaborative programs and opportunities. The students and ECRs that have been trained are the future electronic and quantum workforce for Australia and globally, and will continue to contribute and make an impact in STEM. For all of you who have been involved in the Fleet Centre over the last 7 years, thank you for your contributions. And as we look ahead, we're really excited to see what comes next, and we'll be tracking the progress for all of you as you move on to the next phase of Fleet. So thank you. Thank you for all of our presenters and speakers today, for our distinguished guests, for our network of alumni and stakeholders who have joined us this morning. Thank you for attending our celebrations today. And this concludes the formalities, and we invite all our guests to enjoy the posters and science demonstrations, as well as some refreshments. Please hang around, spend time with our guests. Thank you again to the Director of Fleet and the Fleet team that have joined us here today. And congratulations to all of you for a fantastic 7 years of impact. Thank you.